Did you know that some of the most iconic songs from the 1960s and 70s were so bold, so rebellious, that they were actually banned? These weren't just catchy tunes. They were protest anthems, political firecrackers, and cultural shocks that rattled entire nations. From lyrics that challenged authority to melodies that celebrated freedom and desire, these songs became symbols of resistance. But their creators paid the price: censorship, boycotts, and outrage. Here are 17 banned songs from the 1960s and 70s that were just too controversial for their time. Je t'aime, moi non plus by Serge Gainsbourg and Jane Birkin, 1969. In 1969, Serge Gainsbourg and Jane Birkin released a song that would ignite a global firestorm. Je t'aime, moi non plus, French for I love you, me neither, was a provocative love song that blurred the lines between art and controversy. Originally written for Brigitte Bardot in 1967, the track was shelved until Birkin, then Gainsbourg's partner, recorded it with him. The song featured whispered lyrics and Birkin's breathy vocals, which some interpreted as simulating intimacy. The reaction was swift and intense. The BBC banned the song, and it faced censorship in several countries, including Spain, Italy, Sweden, and Brazil, due to its explicit content. In Italy, the head of the record label that released it was reportedly excommunicated by the Vatican for offending public morality. Despite the bans, the song topped the UK charts, becoming the first foreign-language song to do so. Its success was a testament to the public's fascination with its audacious nature. Gainsbourg, known for his provocative artistry, once quipped that the Vatican had become his greatest PR man. The song's legacy endures as a bold statement on love and desire, challenging societal norms and sparking conversations about censorship and artistic freedom. Even decades later, Je t'aime, moi non plus remains a symbol of music's power to provoke and inspire. Jane Birkin, reflecting on the song's impact, noted that he never thought for a moment that the song would become such a symbol of freedom all over the world. Her collaboration with Gainsbourg on this track solidified their place in music history, marking a moment when art and controversy collided in unforgettable fashion. Eve of Destruction by Barry Maguire, 1965. In the summer of 1965, a raw, unfiltered anthem emerged that captured the angst and disillusionment of a generation. Barry Maguire's rendition of Eve of Destruction, penned by P.F. Sloan, was a stark commentary on the turbulent socio-political landscape of the time. The song's lyrics addressed pressing issues such as the Vietnam War, civil rights struggles, and the looming threat of nuclear annihilation. Lines like, "You're old enough to kill, but not for votin'," resonated deeply with young Americans, highlighting the contradictions in societal norms and policies. Despite its powerful message, the song faced significant backlash. Several radio stations across the United States, including those in Chicago, Washington, Baltimore, and Memphis, banned it, labeling it as leftist propaganda. The BBC also placed it on a restricted list, deeming it unsuitable for general entertainment programs. However, this censorship only fueled public interest. The song soared to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, knocking the Beatles' song Help off the #1 spot. Beyond its commercial success, Eve of Destruction became a rallying cry for activists and a symbol of the era's countercultural movements. Its unflinching critique of contemporary issues made it both a product of its time and a timeless reflection on the struggles for peace and justice. Let's Spend the Night Together by the Rolling Stones, 1967. In 1967, the Rolling Stones released a song that seemed innocent at first, a catchy rock tune about romance, but it quickly became one of the most controversial tracks of the decade. Let's Spend the Night Together was a playful invitation. Yet, in a time when broadcast standards were strict and moral codes conservative, those words were considered shocking. U.S. radio stations refused to play it, and the BBC banned it from many of its programs. Even The Ed Sullivan Show, a cornerstone of American television, demanded that Mick Jagger change the lyrics to the far tamer "Let's Spend Some Time Together" for their broadcast. Fans couldn't get enough. The Stones had masterfully pushed the envelope, turning 4 simple words into a cultural debate. Teenagers and young adults saw it as bold, flirtatious rebellion, while newspapers and magazines gleefully reported on the scandal. Jagger's mischievous grin and rolling, charismatic swagger only made it more entertaining. The controversy gave the song even more power. It climbed the charts, proving that censorship often backfires. "Let's Spend the Night Together" became a defining anthem of the swinging 60s, symbolizing a generation eager to challenge authority, question outdated rules, and embrace freedom of expression. In the end, the Rolling Stones did more than just release a hit. They reminded the world that music could amuse, provoke, and make history all at once. A Day in the Life by the Beatles, 1967. In 1967, the Beatles released Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and nestled within it was a track that would become legendary, A Day in the Life. On the surface, it's a vivid snapshot of daily life, blending news headlines with personal reflections. But behind the melodic beauty lurked a controversy that made broadcasters uneasy. The BBC, known for its strict standards, flagged the song for a line that implied drug use. "I'd love to turn you on." In an era when references to substances were taboo on mainstream radio, this lyric was enough to place the song on the restricted list. Fans were captivated by the contrast between John Lennon's haunting, detached verses and Paul McCartney's upbeat, whimsical interludes. The song's orchestral crescendos, sudden tempo shifts, and mysterious final chord created a sense of drama, unlike anything heard on radio waves at the time. Listeners were both mesmerized and a little scandalized. The song felt rebellious without needing to shout. Despite the censorship, A Day in the Life soared in popularity, cementing the Beatles' reputation as innovators, unafraid to push boundaries. It became a cultural touchstone, inspiring both awe and debate about what was appropriate for the airwaves. Even decades later, the song remains a testament to artistry meeting controversy. Its daring approach to music and subtle provocation proved that genius can challenge norms, entertain, and make listeners think, all in one unforgettable experience. The Pill by Loretta Lynn, 1975. In 1975, country music icon Loretta Lynn released a song that caused an uproar far beyond Nashville. The Pill wasn't about heartbreak or love lost. It was a bold, unapologetic anthem about women taking control of their own lives. The song's subject was birth control. At a time when discussions about female autonomy were still controversial, Lynn's lyrics were revolutionary. She sang openly about using the pill to gain freedom from constant pregnancies and oppressive expectations. The reaction was immediate. Many country radio stations refused to play it, labeling the song too risque, while conservative groups condemned it as immoral. Yet audiences, especially women, embraced it wholeheartedly. Lynn's cheeky delivery and matter-of-fact tone turned what could have been a taboo topic into an anthem of empowerment. In her soft Southern drawl, she transformed a simple country melody into a rallying cry for choice, freedom, and self-determination. Despite the bans, the Pill soared in popularity. Fans called it daring, hilarious, and refreshing. It became one of Lynn's most memorable songs, cementing her reputation as a fearless storyteller, unafraid to challenge societal norms. Looking back, the song isn't just a hit from the 1970s, it's a cultural milestone. God Save the Queen by Sex Pistols, 1977. In 1977, the Sex Pistols released a song that shook Britain to its core. God Save the Queen wasn't just a punk anthem, it was a full-blown challenge to authority. Written during Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, the track criticized the monarchy and highlighted societal frustrations with inequality, unemployment, and political stagnation. Its aggressive lyrics and snarling delivery made it impossible for conservative institutions to ignore. The response was explosive. The BBC refused to play the song. Record stores were pressured not to stock it, and some newspapers labeled the band traitors. The government even attempted to suppress it, fearing that the rebellious energy of punk could spread across the youth. But the controversy only fueled public fascination. Teenagers and young adults flocked to buy the record, thrilled by its audacity and the rebellious spirit it captured. Despite being officially censored, God Save the Queen climbed the UK charts, reaching number 2, though there's debate that chart manipulation may have prevented it from reaching the top spot. The image of a defaced queen on the single's cover became iconic, symbolizing punk's confrontational style and its willingness to mock established power. Over time, the song became more than just a hit. It became a statement, a cultural milestone, and a symbol of youthful defiance. The Sex Pistols proved that music could be entertaining, provocative, and transformative all at once. Even decades later, God Save the Queen remains a vivid reminder of punk's power to challenge norms, amuse listeners, and ignite controversy. Love to Love You Baby by Donna Summer, 1975. In 1975, disco legend Donna Summer released a song that would leave audiences both mesmerized and scandalized. Love to Love You Baby wasn't just a dance track. It was bold, sensual, and unlike anything listeners had heard on the radio. Summer's breathy, hypnotic vocals created an intimate, almost cinematic atmosphere that made people blush, while the driving disco beat ensured clubs couldn't resist playing it all night. The controversy was immediate. Some radio stations refused to play the song, calling it too explicit for public broadcast. Critics debated whether it crossed the line into risque territory, while others celebrated it as a groundbreaking expression of female sexuality and empowerment. In Europe, the song caused an even bigger stir, with some stations banning it outright. Despite this, audiences couldn't get enough. Summer's daring performance and the track's pulsating energy turned it into a massive hit, climbing charts across the globe. The song's notoriety only amplified its success. Nightclubs packed with dancers, eager to experience the song's hypnotic rhythms, made Love to Love You Baby a cultural phenomenon. Donna Summer's fearless approach challenged societal norms and pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable in popular music at the time. Decades later, the track remains a disco classic, a testament to Summer's artistry and audacity. Love to Love You Baby is remembered not just for its sensual grooves, but for how it dared to push the envelope, making listeners blush, dance, and talk about it for years to come. Imagine by John Lennon, 1971. In 1971, John Lennon released Imagine, a song that would become one of the most iconic anthems of peace and hope in modern music. On the surface, it's a gentle, melodic invitation to dream of a better world, free from conflict, borders, and divisions. But when it was released, not everyone embraced its message. Some radio stations, especially in conservative regions, restricted its airplay, interpreting the lyrics as a challenge to established religion, nationalism, and traditional authority. In apartheid-era South Africa, the song was banned from state radio for its perceived anti-government and anti-religious sentiments. Despite the controversy, audiences around the world were captivated. Lennon's soft voice, paired with the song's simple yet profound piano melody, created a sense of intimacy, as if he were speaking directly to each listener. The song became a rallying cry for those seeking peace, justice, and global unity during a period of political unrest, wars, and social upheaval. Imagine's influence only grew over time. Its message transcended generations, appearing in benefit concerts, films, and social movements. Even those who disagreed with its ideals could not deny the song's power to move hearts and provoke thought. Fire Burning by Bob Andy, 1974. In 1974, Jamaican reggae artist Bob Andy released Fire Burning, a song that would ignite both hearts and controversy. Known for his smooth voice and thoughtful songwriting, Andy used music as a platform to speak out against political corruption, inequality, and social injustice. Fire Burning was no exception. Its lyrics were a direct call to awareness, highlighting issues many preferred to ignore. The reaction was immediate. During a period of political tension in Jamaica, authorities deemed the song too provocative. It was pulled from radio rotation, and some venues hesitated to feature it, fearing backlash. Yet this censorship only amplified its impact. Listeners recognized Andy's message and flocked to hear it, drawn by both the fiery lyrics and the soulful delivery. The song's title was more than metaphorical. It became a symbol of the growing desire for change and accountability in society. Musically, Fire Burning showcased the classic reggae rhythm that would define the era, blending tight bass lines, steady drum patterns, and Andy's warm, emotive vocals. It was a track meant to move people both physically on the dance floor and mentally, encouraging reflection on the world around them. Bob Andy used his music to entertain, inspire, and challenge authority simultaneously. His voice carried both the soul of reggae and the courage to speak truth, reminding listeners that sometimes a song can ignite more than just rhythm. It can ignite change. The Power and the Glory, We the People, by Ernie Smith, early 1970s. In the early 1970s, Jamaican reggae singer Ernie Smith used his music to speak truth to power. Songs like The Power and the Glory and We the People showcased his fearless approach, blending catchy rhythms with pointed social and political commentary. Smith's lyrics addressed issues of inequality, government corruption, and the struggles of everyday Jamaicans. But the very boldness that made these songs resonate also made them controversial. Authorities and conservative broadcasters viewed Smith's music as too provocative and potentially destabilizing, leading to limited airplay and unofficial bans in some circles. Radio stations were cautious, fearing backlash for playing tracks that openly criticized the establishment. Despite this, the public embraced Smith's message. Fans connected with his storytelling, his smooth delivery making heavy topics approachable and relatable. Musically, Smith combined reggae's signature offbeat rhythms with soulful melodies, ensuring that even politically charged songs were danceable and memorable. His voice carried both warmth and conviction, inviting listeners to think critically while enjoying the groove. These songs are now celebrated not only for their musicality, but for their bravery. The Power and the Glory and We the People stand as timeless reminders of reggae's ability to challenge authority and give voice to the voiceless. Ernie Smith entertained, inspired, and provoked thought simultaneously, proving that sometimes a melody can be as powerful as a message and as enduring as the people it represents. No Joshua No by Max Romeo, early 1970s. In the early 1970s, reggae icon Max Romeo released No Joshua No, a song that would quietly stir controversy and cement his reputation as a fearless social commentator. Known for using music to reflect the struggles of everyday Jamaicans, Romeo tackled issues that many preferred to ignore. The song's lyrics offered a critical lens on political and social dynamics, urging listeners to be aware, question authority, and stand up for justice. The response was immediate and polarized. While fans celebrated Romeo's courage and thoughtful storytelling, authorities and certain broadcasters were uneasy. Some radio stations limited its airplay, wary of the song's perceived political undertones. In a country where reggae had immense cultural influence, the track was seen as both inspiring and provocative. Yet, as often happens with music that challenges the status quo, the controversy only amplified its reach. Audiences were drawn to its message, finding in Romeo's smooth yet commanding voice a call for reflection and change. Musically, No Joshua No exemplified early 1970s reggae, combining steady rhythms, melodic bass lines, and Romeo's distinctive vocal style. The song was accessible and compelling, allowing its socially conscious message to reach a broad audience while keeping the infectious groove that reggae fans loved. No Joshua No is remembered not just as a song, but as a statement of courage and conviction. Max Romeo used reggae to entertain, inspire, and challenge authority simultaneously. The track remains a testament to music's ability to spark thought, raise awareness, and ignite a subtle yet powerful call for change. Louie Louie by the Kingsmen, 1963. In 1963, the Kingsmen released Louie Louie, a seemingly simple rock and roll track that would become one of the most infamous songs in music history. On the surface, it's about a sailor longing to return home to his love. But the delivery, mumbled vocals, raw energy, and driving beat caused a massive stir. Many listeners misheard the lyrics, imagining risque content. U.S. authorities launched an investigation to determine if the song violated decency standards. The FBI reportedly spent over 2 years analyzing the lyrics, trying to find evidence of obscenity, only to conclude they couldn't clearly make out the words. Despite the investigation, or perhaps because of it, Louie Louie became a cultural phenomenon. Teenagers embraced the rebellion and the mystery, singing along with what they thought the lyrics might be, while adults gawked in disbelief. Radio stations were divided. Some refused to play it, while others promoted it, fueling curiosity and driving record sales. The song's raw, garage rock energy captured the spirit of youth frustration, freedom, and playful defiance in a way few tracks of the era could. Louie Louie remains a legendary example of how a simple song can provoke controversy, amuse listeners, and become timeless. The Kingsmen proved that sometimes the allure of mystery, combined with infectious rhythm, is all it takes to turn a track into a phenomenon that continues to captivate audiences and spark debate even today. Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett, 1962. In 1962, Bobby Boris Pickett unleashed Monster Mash, a song that would become a Halloween classic and a quirky source of controversy. On the surface, it's a playful novelty track, telling the story of monsters dancing at a spooky party. But its timing and themes made some conservative radio stations uneasy. The idea of ghoulish fun and creatures shaking all night was considered too silly, or in some circles, too weird for mainstream audiences. Pickett's signature Boris Karloff voice, complete with theatrical growls and eerie laughs, made the song both amusing and memorable. The track didn't just play music, it created a little theatrical world that listeners could imagine, complete with zombies, mummies, and vampires grooving to the beat. Kids loved it, teenagers found it fun, and some adults shook their heads. Despite the minor controversies, Monster Mash soared to the top of the charts, peaking at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It became an instant holiday favorite, played each October and celebrated for its humor, creativity, and catchy rhythm. Pickett cleverly blended rock and roll with theatrical storytelling, showing that music could entertain while nudging the edge of cultural norms. Monster Mash is still an enduring classic. It shows that controversy doesn't always have to be serious or dangerous. It can be playful, amusing, and utterly memorable. Bobby Pickett turned monsters, fun, and a little bit of mischief into a song that continues to delight listeners and stand the test of time. Leader of the Pack by the Shangri-Las, 1964. In 1964, the Shangri-Las released Leader of the Pack, a teenage tragedy song that captured hearts and sparked a surprising amount of controversy. The track tells the story of a young girl torn between love and social expectations, falling for the rebellious leader of the pack, a biker with a dangerous reputation. Its dramatic storytelling, spoken word interludes, and sound effects, including roaring motorcycles, made the song feel like a mini-movie in 3 minutes. The controversy wasn't about violence per se, but about the song's themes. Some conservative radio stations refused to play it, claiming it glorified rebellion, danger, and unhealthy romantic choices. Parents worried the story might encourage teenagers to idolize bad boys or make risky decisions. Despite this pushback, the song captivated the youth, Teenagers were enthralled by the combination of romance, danger, and melodrama, while the storytelling style drew listeners into the world of the characters. Leader of the Pack skyrocketed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, cementing the Shangri-La's place in music history. Its cinematic approach to pop music influenced countless artists and demonstrated the power of narrative in song. Decades later, the track is celebrated as a classic of the girl group era, blending storytelling, emotion, and catchy melodies. It remains a reminder that music can entertain and amuse listeners, all while telling a story that feels larger than life. Light My Fire by The Doors, 1967. In 1967, The Doors released Light My Fire, a song that would ignite both the charts and controversy. With its hypnotic organ riff, Jim Morrison's smoky vocals, and lyrics that hinted at passion and desire, the track quickly became an anthem for the counterculture. But its suggestive lines were enough to ruffle conservative feathers. The phrase "girl, we couldn't get much higher" was interpreted by some as a drug reference, prompting several radio stations to either ban the song or demand a censored version for airplay. Despite the pushback, Light My Fire soared to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, making The Doors household names almost overnight. The band's provocative image, combined with Morrison's charismatic stage presence, fueled the fascination. Audiences were drawn not just to the music, but to the rebellious, magnetic energy surrounding the group. On television appearances, Morrison's raw intensity and refusal to conform added fuel to the controversy, further cementing the song as a symbol of youthful defiance. Musically, the track pushed boundaries with its extended instrumental solos, blending rock, jazz, and psychedelic elements into a cohesive, mesmerizing experience. It wasn't just a hit, it was a statement, daring listeners to embrace passion, question norms, explore new musical territories. Light My Fire still remains a defining Doors classic, celebrated for both its musical genius and its rebellious spirit. The song demonstrates that controversy can amplify artistry, and that the power of music often lies in its ability to entertain, provoke thought, and capture the imagination of generations. Wet Dream by Max Romeo, 1968. In 1968, reggae artist Max Romeo released Wet Dream, a song that would spark laughter, blushes, and controversy across the Caribbean and beyond. At first listen, it's a cheeky, playful tune with an infectious rhythm, but the suggestive lyrics made many radio stations think twice before airing it. And in some places, it was banned entirely. Romeo's delivery was unapologetic. His smooth, melodic voice carried the humor and mischief of the lyrics, creating a playful contrast to the taboo subject matter. Fans were drawn to the song's cheekiness, while conservative listeners were scandalized, making Wet Dream one of the most talked-about reggae tracks of its era. The controversy only fueled its popularity, as forbidden fruit often tastes sweetest. Despite the bans, the track became a hit in Jamaica and gained international attention, cementing Max Romeo's reputation as a bold and fearless performer. It showcased his knack for combining reggae's signature rhythms with humor, storytelling, and just enough provocation to keep listeners engaged. Wet Dream is remembered not only for its catchy groove, but also for its daring approach to playful, adult-themed content. Max Romeo proved that music could entertain, amuse, and spark conversation simultaneously. The song remains a humorous statement that controversy doesn't always have to be serious. Sometimes it's cheeky, fun, and unforgettable. Short People by Randy Newman, 1977. In 1977, Randy Newman released Short People, a song that would spark both laughter and outrage. At first listen, it sounds like a cheeky, playful tune, poking fun at people of short stature, but the reaction was explosive. Some listeners took the lyrics literally, calling the song offensive and demanding radio stations ban it from airplay. Despite, or perhaps because of the backlash, the song climbed the charts, eventually reaching the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Newman, known for his clever wit and satirical style, had written the song as a tongue-in-cheek commentary on prejudice and irrational bias. The exaggerated, humorous lyrics were meant to shine a light on how arbitrary and ridiculous discrimination can be. But satire can be tricky. Many missed the nuance, interpreting it as an insult rather than social commentary. The controversy only amplified the song's popularity. Fans were amused by the playful melody, catchy rhythm, and Newman's deadpan vocal delivery, which added an extra layer of irony. The track became a conversation starter, forcing audiences to reflect on the absurdity of judging people based on physical traits. Short People remains a fascinating example of how humor, satire, and controversy can intersect in music. Randy Newman used a song to entertain, provoke thought, and spark debate all at once, showing that sometimes playful exaggeration can make a big cultural impact, all while getting listeners to tap their feet and laugh at the absurdity of prejudice. And there you have it, 17 songs from the 1960s and 70s that stirred controversy, challenged norms, and left a lasting mark on music history. From cheeky humor to bold social commentary, these tracks reminded the world that a song can entertain, provoke, and inspire all at once. Some were banned, some censored, and some fueled debates that echoed far beyond the airwaves. But that's the power of music. It captures the spirit of its time, reflects society's tensions, and sometimes simply refuses to be ignored. Which of these songs surprised you the most? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more music stories.